There we go. Hey, Bill, I just want to ask about Christian Barmore's development this season. What have you seen from him since he has arrived? And it was looking at the snap counts, and he played the most out of any defensive lineman. What has stood out in terms of his play and in terms of him establishing himself as a guy that can be on multiple downs and impact the game in multiple ways?
Yeah, well, he's been out there every day. He's improved in every area. He works really hard, and he's got a really good skill set. I mean, he's big, he's long, he's got good playing strength and good quickness. Runs well, gives great effort. He's made some, good chase plays from behind. So, he's earned his way out there, and he's done a good job in all situations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next question, Jim McBride, followed by Chris Ryan.
Morning, Coach.
Hey, Jim.
I wanted to ask you about Kyle Duggar and just his versatility, his ability. Thinking yesterday of being able to play near the box, but also playing coverage, and the depth he gives you in that safety rotation.
Yeah, again, Kyle's, a very versatile player for us. He plays a lot down by the line of scrimmage, but can certainly also play deep and is a strong tackler. Can blitz, cover man-to-man. So he's been able to use him in a lot of different roles. These offenses are hard to match up against with the multiple tight ends we've been seeing every week. And I would say the difference in the tight ends, their skill sets, to be able to, just have one player to do that and not have to match up on each guy is a real luxury. So, again, a young player that's gotten some playing time, but is still, gaining a lot of experience and, getting better all the time.
Thanks.
Next question, Chris Ryan, followed by Mike Reese.
Morning, Bill. How are you?
Good, Chris. How's it going?
Good. I wanted to ask you about momentum, in that you have obviously preached for years about the day-by-day, game-by-game type of approach. But what role do you think that winning and the type of momentum that comes with that allows for guys to be a little more engaged and enjoying themselves in their preparation that leads to success? Like, do you believe in momentum in that sense, that people change when things are going well as compared to when they're facing adversity?
Well, all people are different, so I don't know that everybody reacts the same to everything. But whatever it is, win or lose, you've got to turn the page quickly and move on to the next challenge, because those things don't carry too far, and they don't carry too far in a game either. Make a couple bad plays, you can lose momentum in a hurry. So, really try to just focus on each play, one play at a time, and each day, one day at a time, and make the most you can out of that opportunity. And if you get too caught up in what happened in the past, you'll miss an opportunity in the future, and think too much about what's too far ahead, you miss the opportunity that's in front of you. So that's what I've always tried to emphasize. But certainly there's a positivity to winning, and gives you a good motivation to come in and do the things that you did that helped you to win, to do more of them and improve. So, that's a good thing too. But we've all got to learn from our mistakes, and we've had, games go the other way that we've had to learn from those too. So I think that's the NFL season. It's a roller coaster. Every team goes through challenges and ups and downs and deals with different things, and it's just part of it.
And on the offensive line as well, what have you noticed from them over the last couple of weeks? You mentioned some of the penalties, obviously, you like to have back, but are they putting you in a place to win? Are they giving Mac the time that he needs to make plays and et cetera?
Well, it's when you put the whole, all five guys together, it's and it's not going to be perfect, especially against a good defensive front, and a team that gives as many multiples as the Chargers did yesterday. But again, we've gotten better collectively, and we've gotten better individually. But so again, each game is its own, brings out its own challenges. But I thought overall we pass protected better than we did in some other games earlier in the year. But overall offensively, our passing game wasn't as good as what it has been or what it could be or what it needs to be. So, and that's a combination of, again, all 11 guys working together and coaching and everything else. So, do we have enough time? In some places we do, not every play. We got to try to develop more consistency and just overall more efficiency in the passing game.
Thanks, Bill.
You're welcome.
Our next question, Mike Reese, followed by Phil Perry.
So just going back through the game, the Chargers scored touchdowns on 2 of their first 3 drives. As you sort of reviewed the game, what stood out to you that helped sort of your defense maybe settle down or settle in a little bit? Because it seemed like there was more success defensively after that second touchdown drive for them.
Yeah, well, not giving up big plays.
It's that simple. 41 yard on the first one.
40-yard pass and a 70-yard run or whatever it was. But yeah, that's those plays they'll cost you points.
And on the challenge,
we had chances on third down. We had chances on third down to stop both of those, and they converted. So there was more to it than that. But I mean, when you shorten the field by that much, it's never a good thing for the defense.
And on the challenge, how much were you looking at the right tackle? It looked like you had a pretty good hold on Kyle. Was that sort of the thought process on throwing the flag on the challenge?
I saw the hold on Kyle. I thought it happened in the end zone. I mean, I think it did happen in the end zone on Norton. The foul was called on the guard, and so the play again. I didn't really hear who the foul was on. I saw it on Norton. I thought it was on Norton. So obviously that was a mistake that I made. Thanks for pointing that out, Mike. Appreciate it.
I didn't want to point out the mistake. I'm more interested because you've often said in the past, like, you can't hear the announcements. So that's you've said that to us.
Yeah, no, it's my fault. I blew it.
Next question, Phil Perry, followed by Zach.
Hey, Bill, after we spoke to you last night, we talked to Mac, and he said he felt like maybe he was going things a little bit too quickly, and that was maybe impacting the timing of the passing game. Was there anything that the Chargers were doing that was just sort of throwing things off from a timing standpoint? It just looked like the connection between him and some of the pass catchers wasn't there in some instances.
Yeah, again, as I said earlier, I think just overall we need to we didn't have our best day as a team passing the ball yesterday, and we've had better days than that. Hopefully we'll improve on that.
And Bill, could you just take us through the other 2 timeouts that you guys used in the second half? There looked like one was it looked like Christian was running off the field, and then the other, it was hard for us to tell up in the press box maybe what led to that. Could you just kind of explain those 2 calls?
Yeah, I didn't think we were clean on the substitution, and the offensive timeout. We didn't get away from the pile and the scrum after the play, and honestly, there's no chance to get the play in before the 15-second cutoff, so couldn't get the play in. Would you ever? Sorry, last one. I think both of those penalties are 5-yard penalties. In a close game like that one, would you ever consider taking a penalty just to hold on to the timeout for later? Yeah, I don't think in either one of those situations. I mean, once you start giving up possessions, and if you think a possession's worth a timeout, then I guess you could do that. I don't think giving up possession is worth a timeout.
Couple final
Thanks.
questions, Zach Cox and Henry McKenna.
Hey, Bill, just want to ask you about the job Gunner and the punt return team did yesterday. It seemed like they were able to put you in some, or put the offense rather in some good positions with a few of those returns.
Yeah, definitely. Gunner did a good job, and so did his teammates. The other 10 guys that were out there did a good job of holding up the some of the coverage players, and Gunner did a good job of handling the ball. We got outside and created some good field position for our offense. So really, again, well executed team plays. Again, Gunner did his job, but so did the guys that created those opportunities for him to get out there. So it was an excellent job by the punt return team. We had a chance for a block, but returned the ball well. And it always starts with getting the gunners, and that was another obviously important part of the play. And without that, then the rest of the blocking doesn't really matter. So getting the gunners, getting the interior guys, keeping pressure on the punter, and as I said, we're very close on the block that we just missed. So I thought that unit did it definitely impacted the game.
And last two questions, Henry McKenna and Dakota Randall.
Thanks, Stacy. Good morning, Bill. Justin Herbert, after the game yesterday, was talking about the cover 2 defense that you guys ran and how it was a little different than things he'd seen from you this year, that it was disguised as well. And it just took some recalibration for them. So I wondered for you, how happy you were to see your defense run something that was sort of against trend for you, and how well they did, in stopping Herbert yesterday.
Well, I think our players generally do a pretty good job of that. Certainly Devin and AP and Kyle have a lot of experience back there, and when you Hightower and Judon, Van Noy, and those guys playing at the end of the line. We obviously try to not make it easy for the quarterback. That's pretty much part of the game plan every week. You never want to just tell them this is what we're in and let them know where to go with the ball. We try to make it hard for them to figure out, change up a little bit on them, make them read a post snap. So it's pretty fundamental part of our defense every week. It might not be that coverage or a certain look, but somehow or other to try to keep the quarterback a little bit off balance, either with his post snap reads, or if it's a team that checks plays based on what they see prior to the snap, then that's of course another reason to disguise it.
Final question, Dakota Randall.
Yeah. Hey, Bill, I know you can't get into specifics, but I'm just wondering if you've gotten a sense for how active this trade deadline could be around the NFL. It seems like it's kind of been more quiet than it's been in recent years. Do you expect the conversations to ramp up over the next day? And have you guys been talking to any teams?
Yeah, I think this is the time of year that personnel departments always communicate with each other, and we certainly had probably the normal amount of communication with other teams that whether they have an interest in a player or want to exchange a player, or maybe they have somebody that they are looking to if the right opportunity was there, that they would trade that player. So yeah, those conversations go on. We've had those where it's you talk for a week, 10 days, 3 or 4 days, whatever it is, and the situation's imminent and it never happens. And then we've had other situations like where it's 2:00 on Tuesday afternoon and something comes up and you end up doing it. So I don't think it really means too much today. Again, it's kind of normal to have some conversations. It's also fairly normal to, Monday after the game from yesterday and maybe Tuesday morning for teams to maybe have a little different point of view than they might have had on Saturday or Friday or Thursday when we talked to them before, that somebody got hurt, the guy that was available, they need to keep them, or something happened and, they need to feel like they, want to just go ahead and move on from the player. And so that's, if the price is right and that kind of thing. Same thing for us. We're sitting here today, and somebody could call and they lost somebody yesterday and say, hey, you have depth at this position. Would you trade so and so, or not? So it's we'll just see what happens. Honestly, I'm not too worried about that. I think Dave Ziegler and his staff they have most of the communications on that. They keep me informed if there's something that looks like it's might be moving slowly in a direction. But we wrapped up the Charger game, and I've already spent quite a bit of time on Carolina, and that's really where I'm going to focus my time now. Something comes up, it comes up, and if it doesn't, it doesn't.
Thank you.
So, yeah, sorry.
Thank you, Coach.
I don't know much more than you do.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks, everyone.
All right, thank you.
When did Bud Light Seltzer start making lemonade?
Probably when 2020 handed us all those lemons.
New Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade, packed with lemonade flavor after a lemon of a year.
Opponents? I've gone up against thousands.
And there's an opponent we're all up against, COVID-19.
But there's a way to beat it. Get vaccinated.
So when it's your turn, roll up your sleeves.
And let's get to the finish line together.
When did Bud Light Seltzer start making lemonade?
Probably when 2020 handed us all those lemons.
New Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade, packed with lemonade flavor after a lemon of a year.
Opponents? I've gone up against thousands.
And there's an opponent we're all up against, COVID-19.
But there's a way to beat it. Get vaccinated.
So when it's your turn, roll up your sleeves.
And let's get to the finish line together.